Okay, guys, great. If everybody can hear me one more time, just type yes in the box. We're getting it started. We had a little technical difficulty. We got fixed, so we're good to go. Great, guys. Awesome. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Before we get started, just wanted to make sure we thanked everybody from ChampionsWay for helping us out with this webinar. If everybody could hold their questions to the end, that's normally how we do our webinars. We save our questions to the end, and then we actually have one of our hosts as well, Tatis, who's actually helping us out. He'll be taking the questions and answers at the end, and I'll respond to everything. This webinar will be a lot of information explaining and actually learning and teaching schools basically where social media is going, and also why other methods are not working. A lot of people still really just don't get it. So we're really trying to just make sure we help school owners understand the science behind social media, okay, and the process behind it. So we're going to show you how we're working our back-to-school marketing campaign. How I also myself I'm doing no marketing whatsoever for my school except social media. I haven't ran an ad in a year. No print advertising, nothing. Okay, and we still have over 600 students. Okay, well I have to go through that because there's some people in summer specials that are that will probably expire, will not continue. All right. So anyway, that's the thing. We made a big transition. It was a lot of work. It is a lot of work. As business owners, everyone knows that a transition takes a lot of work. So that's what you're going through right now with your marketing. It is a transition. It's a change and a shift in the direction of where your marketing should go. Okay. So basically, guys, like I said, we're going to get started, then we'll take some questions at the end, and let's do it. Okay, guys, staying ahead of the curve, back to school marketing 2010. Before we get started, guys, quickly about ChampionsWay. ChampionsWay was founded in 1998 by Master Farid Dodar. We currently serve over 5,000 martial arts schools. We employ over 60 people. We have our headquarters office in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we also have a small office located in New Jersey, where I work out of. Okay, and at the bottom here, guys, if you're interested in following ChampionsWay, becoming a fan, and seeing what we're always up to, here's all of our links that you can follow us on at the bottom. Facebook.com/ChampionsWayFans, Twitter.com/ChampionsWay, YouTube, ChampionsWay blog. If you haven't subscribed to our blog, please visit blog.championsway.com and enter your email address so that way all of our blogs are emailed to you as soon as we post them up. And also, the world's largest martial arts online community, okay, community.championsway.com. Another great social network where a lot of schools are going and getting information and networking with other school owners. Okay, guys, so let's go right into it. The traditional marketing methods are not as effective as they once were. Okay, a lot of schools that we're helping out, we're talking to, they're realizing that basically things are changing. Okay, hold on one second. It says I'm getting a text message that there's some kind of static and echo, so I'll have to look into that. Hold on one second. Okay, guys. I'm getting it says that everyone's okay here. Tatis, I only have one room open, so I don't know why that would be happening. There's no other computer open in my room. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to check your computers. It's something on your end. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get back to it. Sorry, I had a text message that no one could hear me, so I wanted to check into that. So adjust your volume, try your best, and if not, maybe just watch the recording if you don't have the proper material. Okay, guys, so again, the traditional marketing methods are not as effective as they once were. We're going to go through this quickly to talk about a couple things to think about. So the old way to buy, right? The old way to buy. Let's go over that first. Okay, the old way to buy was to use the yellow pages. People would go into the yellow pages. Commercials, word of mouth, and then obviously print advertising. That was the old way of buying. Okay, and that a lot of us live by this. Okay, for the past 10, 15 years, some of you guys 20 years, 30 years with your martial arts schools. When I first got into the business 15 years ago, it was about who had the biggest yellow page ad. That's what, and then who was doing commercials. Word of mouth is something that if you have a good product, you're going to get people no matter if you have the budget or not, if you're running great classes. And then print, same thing. People were spending, they were trying to find creative ways. A lot of franchises and groups would do print advertising and try to save money to do some print. So that was the old way of buying, okay? The Yellow Pages. Let's talk about that first. The biggest waste of money on advertising that you could spend. I am upset that I even have to pay for a listing in the Yellow Pages, okay? Total waste of money. Total, it's really something that you really want to take a look at when it's time to adjust again, maybe this January. Commercials. Save your money. Most viewers will never even make it to the commercial. I don't know about you guys. I have cable. Obviously TiVo. And then I'm always on my computer. I don't remember the last time I even watched a commercial, except for the Super Bowl. Word of mouth, still the most important form of marketing, but it is changing as well. Where do people talk now? They talk on Facebook, Twitter. They don't talk on the phone. They don't have these meetings. People are too busy with their schedules. Everything's changing. So you've heard me talk about word of mouth is now like the word of mouse. Okay, so keep that in mind. Word of mouth is changing, whether you want to realize it or not, is going online. Everybody's on Facebook, just the truth. Your clients are on Facebook. Your parents are on Facebook. All right? And then print. Too expensive. You really don't know who looks at it. And in most cases, it's only looked at by your competitors. You get the Clipper magazine that comes out. The first thing you look for is other martial arts schools or businesses similar to yours. They're going to open it up, and you're going to see what they're offering. The average amount you will spend on this, Yellow Pages, let's just say $200 a month. Print, $300 a month. TV, radio, PR, all these other wasteful things that you might use, $200 a month. And then I also have other industry gimmicks, secret payment programs, student generators, okay, etc. All these, you've heard them all, you've seen them all, the special secret to success, do this and you'll get 1,000 students, double your gross, okay, whatever. If we added all them up, we're looking at about $900 a month, at least, okay, at least $900 a month, probably more for some people, right? And the question I have for you guys is, where does it go? Okay, the money for the Yellow Pages, the money for print advertising, TV, radio, PR, the other gimmicks, the secret payment programs, the $900 a month. It goes right into the toilet. Okay, that's exactly where it goes. We're throwing that money out. Okay, we're maybe getting a couple leads here and there, all right, and we're just really spending a lot of money. We don't know who's looking at it, so there's too many negatives about it. Okay, the four main pillars we want to use. The most simple thing when we're talking about social media is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and WordPress. Okay, your blog. Now, I'd have to add in there another thing that I would think that is probably, I would say, better than Twitter, okay, and your blog, and that would be the web social from ChampionsWay. We're going to go through that. I'm going to show you about that. Facebook, it's everyone's on there. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. So those two, I really can't talk about them or say that they're not effective. They are. Twitter is definitely more of a challenge. Blogs, unless you're really on top of them and they're perfect and you know how to market them, you really have a hard time working them. So I would put web social right in the middle between Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to show you how that works today. Now here's the hundreds of other social networks and things that are out there, and eventually, guys, the thing is you do need to understand what they are, right? Because social media isn't about just Facebook and Twitter. That's why we're talking about this before we get started. Okay, I'll go into that in more detail in a minute. Now, this leaves us to a point where we say, okay, well, wait a second. I want to get started, but I'm just totally confused. I'm looking at my computer. I have all this stuff. I'm trying to get organized. I just don't understand what I'm trying to do. And the thing is, it's not going to click to you in the matter of a day. It's not going to click and make sense to you in the matter of a week, right? When I go over everything today, it is going to make a lot more sense to you, and you'll know what you need to do. You will know what you need to do. So you have no idea how to get started. We're going to be working on that with you as well. Don't get lost in the social media sphere. You will waste time, and you will lose money. It will happen to you. So getting started, okay, we're starting over. Facebook, Twitter, your website, which is in the middle, blog, Twitter, and then obviously web social connected to your website, which we're going to show you. That's the easiest way to get started is by thinking about these four main pillars. Now, let's show you what we're doing for our back-to-school marketing campaign. We're going to show you what we're doing, but we're going to go through some other takeaways first, and then we'll actually finish our presentation today with some of the basics of what we're doing for our back-to-school marketing campaign and how it works. So the 5 takeaways is why it is a process and not just anyone can set up social marketing. Number 2, the second takeaway, why it won't produce results right away. Some schools, and this is what happens with all businesses, they'll buy a website 5 years ago and they'll get no leads, and all of a sudden what do? They cancel. They call and they cancel the website. Someone will pay for SEO, and all of the same thing. 2 months later, they'll call. They haven't got any web leads, and they just want to cancel. We're going to go over why you won't produce results right away. So you understand why. So you understand that you don't just quit in the middle of month 1, and then 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you are so far behind, and now you got to start over again. This is not an option. This is actually a necessity for your business. Number 3, why your classes are so important. So we're talking a lot about marketing and media, okay, but why your classes are so important. We're going to talk about that. Number 4, what it all looks like. And then 5, how could I get in? You want to get involved with this? How could I do it? So takeaway number 1, why it is a process and not just anyone can set it up. Social media is a science, not a quick way to get students. If you don't understand this, okay, you might want to just turn the webinar off or not watch the rest of it. Okay, if you look at this as only a way to get students and you don't understand the science behind it, okay, and how everything works, it will not work. Okay, this is a new form of communication. So we're going to talk more about the science about it and make everybody understand expectations realistic and make them understand that it's not just going to happen after watching one webinar. So when I talk about it being a science, here's a formula, okay, for actually converting social media prospects, followers into leads. So you look at this and you say, well, wait a second, this is whatever. This is the truth. This is really how you need to look at it. Okay, if you're not understanding about it, the way that this is a science, it's not going to make sense to you. You're going to throw something up on Facebook, Twitter, blog. You're going to rush, okay, and it's not going to work. All right, so you have to understand, guys. For example, everything that I've done, okay, for ChampionsWay or with our social media, it's taken us 2 years to get to that point. 2 years. All right, and obviously, I'm doing consulting. I run the ChampionsWay library. I'm doing a lot of different things. Everything has been through social media, okay? And I gave out a lot of information, a lot of webinars, a lot of content, more than probably anybody, and they watched it, and then what happens is people, they start sending me emails. I would go into the ChampionsWay library. I would get emails all the time from school owners. So I want you to understand the science behind it. So C equals 4M plus 3V plus 2 times 1 minus F minus 2A. We're just going to talk about this quickly. C is the profitability of a conversion. Okay, like what that conversion actually equals. We need to know what that is. Okay, M is motivation. It's going to take 4 forms of motivation to get them to actually possibly become a conversion. Okay, a client, a student. Okay, so it's not just going to be one way. It's going to be 4, 5, 7, 10, whatever ways to motivate that person to become a student. That's where a lot of us are going to fail. They're just going to blast things out and think that it's going to come. Everything can't be around registrations and sign-ups and conventions and seminars. Mix it up. We talk about it all the time. That's what we're going to help everybody with. B is the clarity of the value proposition. Okay, the proposition that you're giving them, okay, there's got to be 3 reasons why they should want to come in. Right? 3 reasons, not just like cheapness, okay, or price. Okay? Content, service, quality, passion. Really, they feel it through the internet that you have something that they want. Okay, I, incentive to take action. What is the incentive? Okay, what is the incentive for them to take action? Is there a special? Is there a timeline? Okay, and then F, friction elements of proposal. Okay, what is causing people not to come in? Right? Why not? Okay, and then A, usually they're dealing with anxiety. Right? Time, money. Okay, time and money are the biggest forms. So this is a little formula that you could use, all right, from Dan Zarella that was actually really good, and this helps you explain exactly and understand the science of it. That's why this is a science. So keep this in mind also. On the internet, you're only 1 click away from your competition. Really think about that. This is